What's up, YouTube? It's been a minute since I've posted. I don't know why I'm posting now. I'm way too freaking busy with my law school applications, but let me tell you, I am hype for the Golden State Warriors. And no, it's not just because I really like Steph Curry, although that's part of it. Actually, that's that's really most of it if I'm being objective. But that doesn't matter. Objectivity doesn't matter. Before, if you watch my Western Conference predictions, I had Steph Curry at what? I had him as the best player in the league over Giannis, which I'm sure everybody thinks I'm idiotic for, but I don't care. And in the standings, I had the Warriors as the third team in the West in regular season. I actually changed my mind on that. I think the Warriors are going to have the best regular season. Now, my logic behind putting them third behind the Nuggets and the Clippers was that the Clippers were the deepest team. Even if Kawhi and Paul George were going to load manage, which we know they are going to, they would probably have enough players to beat most teams on most nights. You know, obviously you're probably not beating the Bucks, Warriors, Nuggets, Celtics. Well, I don't even know if I should throw the Celtics in there anymore because of Ime Udoka, but I will. You know, the Celtics, those guys. You're probably 76ers. You're probably not beating them on nights when you're missing your stars, but those are the games that they should be playing, theoretically, right? But either way, that was my logic with the Clippers. With the Nuggets, I was like, all right, pretty much every year, Jokic has been like with a fully healthy Nugget squad since they entered his prime, have been a top 2 seed in the West. Just historically, they win regular season games, no doubt about it. So I'm actually moving the Clippers to third. The Nuggets are going to stay at second. I'm going to put the Warriors at first. Now, here's why. Uh, I think because the Warriors have, I think they feel like they're getting like a little bit shit talk now that the season's starting. A lot of people seem to be overlooking the Warriors, or maybe they're not. I mean, a lot of people are talking about them, I guess, but it does feel like they are getting some level of flack. Draymond's in a contract year, and this is actually kind of why I think they're going to be really good. Draymond being in a contract year, Draymond is going to play his ass off because every game matters for him this year on whether or not he even stays with the Warriors, because I guarantee you, if Joe Lacob sees Draymond and it looks like he's falling off a cliff, he will not re-sign him for a max deal, and Draymond will go to Portland because Portland will pay him anything he wants. And that's kind of how it is. I think that because it's in a contract year, Draymond is going to come into this season being super good, and the team is going to go off to an even better start than they did last season when they were like the number one team in the league by like 6 or 7 wins at one point, like very early on in the season, like when there was 20 something games in or something. Or maybe they were 6 games, not 7, but they were pretty far ahead. I think that they're going to do that, and it's because of the contract year. It's because Clay is going to have now, instead of like shoving his entire season into 3 months, he's going to have a full season to play. He's had the off season. He hasn't had to do physical therapy and can actually play basketball. So his skills will be less rusty. And he didn't shoot well from three. So in the postseason, so if we're seeing a more complete version of Clay, his defense will continue to improve. His shooting will continue to improve. His drives and ball handling, all that other stuff will continue to improve because he can actually play basketball. Like, duh. No shit. Not to mention Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole has had an awesome year last year, and it showed in the finals against the Boston Celtics how he started off the series not playing well and got better as the series progressed, and that was a large reason why the Warriors looked so unstoppable and so much better than the Celtics at the end there, because Jordan Poole wasn't putting up, 9 points. He wasn't scoring 25, but he wasn't scoring 9 points. Now, the other main reason that I think that this team is going to be good is I think Dante Vincenzo and Moses Moody. I'm not even going to talk about Jermichael Green. So Dante Vincenzo, I was a little bit I felt he would fit good with the team. I was a little bit skeptical. Preseason did a lot to alleviate that skepticism. Dante Vincenzo looked fantastic. He looked like he gave them another like aspect to their offense that they can use. His he had this really nice pick and roll pass to Wiseman, which is like incredibly good because that means you have Curry, Poole, and DiVincenzo who can all play decent pick and roll with Wiseman, which is important for his development, which is a big part of this team. And oh my God, I'm talking about Dante DiVincenzo. James Wiseman looked fantastic in preseason, and I know his preseason. I'm not thinking he's going to score 20 and 9. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the way he was moving and his defense. I know it's preseason, so people aren't necessarily going as hard at him as they will in a regular season game, but James Wiseman is getting a little bit of a soft reintroduction, and it's not like he hasn't played in the NBA before. It's not like he hasn't scored 20 points in the NBA before. He's shown he can do that, and I think he looked smarter, and he was communicating more. I was watching Draymond Green's podcast. He was communicating, and Draymond was like, bro, this guy's talking, and he's like screaming out orders, and people are listening to him. So that shows me that he can be a defensive anchor. Maybe not the main one, but he can be a possible defensive positive contributor, which you want from your center. Now, I don't expect him to be, all defense, and Kevon Looney is clearly starting at this point. But if he plays good defense between him and Looney, the Warriors are going to be fine on the defensive end with and also of course Draymond, right? Because some of those 5 minutes are going to be eaten up by him at some point. Maybe not every game, but sometimes every game. Beyond that, I don't really think there's too much. Oh, Moses Moody. Moses Moody is going to have a breakout, not like a breakout like he's going to shoot into the upper echelon of young players, but he's going to have a breakout season as a young player, and I'm super looking forward to that. And there's just so much to talk about with this Warrior squad. It's like, barring injury, I don't really see. I thought they were going to lose some games to like their youth being young, but when I'm looking at it, they've got championship experience with a lot of those young players. James Wiseman's had a lot of time to watch film. He's had a lot of time to be coached. And while he's going to make mistakes, I don't think James Wiseman specifically is going to cost them games. I think Kerr, he might cost them one or two, but I don't think it'll be that bad. I think Kerr will do a good job managing his minutes. And I think the Warriors are going to be the 1 seed. I'm booking it now. They were the 1 seed much of the year last year until like they were trying to work around Clay. So this kind of affects my MVP prediction too. Because if they're the 1 seed, does Steph Curry win the MVP? Maybe. He might. He very well might. And it would be well deserved. So Warriors are going to win around 60 games, I think. And Steph Curry is going to either win the MVP or be the runner-up. And this is after they put him 7th last season. So this is a hot take, sort of. Low-key. All right. Have a wonderful day.